in the little time I was here, in my short lifetime since I'm very young, I've seen a lot of changes, especially in how deep the water is and pollution. We used to be able to drink the water.
I'm a teacher here in Fort McMurray. I've been teaching here for 5 years consecutively. Girls, you see over there? Yeah. Okay, this is the hanging stone. This was like forest. One of the most important teachings of water is that you'll learn that water is very humble. It doesn't put itself above others. It will always find the lowest spot. And one of the things that we need to remember as people, no matter how developed we become, is that we need to remember the humility of the water.
It's been a going concern. People are still talking about, how do we continue this, this journey of trying to take care of the Athabasca River. But when you look at the regulations, the people who regulate the water is, of course, are the government. So it's a little bit hard when, they're not the people that are living by the water and they don't have that experience. And so it's, they're making regulations from their ivory tower, so it's a little difficult for us.
We went just past down there, and we went in a little cove and we tested the water, and we tested the pH and the metal balance, but we found the pH to be a little bit above normal. We found high levels of certain metals as well in the waters, which would probably be from the tar sands and stuff that you can still see somewhat. If you go farther down, you can still see a big wall of just like the rock that the tar sand comes from.
We're polluted. We're the only place in all of Canada that has a thing called industrial allergies. If you go to other provinces and you go to the hospital with the flu, they don't tell you have industrial allergies. But when you come to Fort McMurray, you get sick and that's what they tell you. So it's our own little sickness that we've caused amongst ourselves from industry.
There has been a lot of concerns regarding the oil sands and all the pollution.
My brother has asthma, and it's because of the oil sands and the air quality that we have.
My son actually has asthma, and when he went and seen the pediatrician, she actually told me that she's never seen so many children with asthma in one community.
I moved here about 3 years ago, and I don't think that the oil fields here are very safe to be living around, because ever since I lived here I've been having trouble breathing most of the time.
Do you guys all think that drug addiction is a problem in Fort McMurray?
Of course it is. Yeah.
Fort McMurray doesn't have much to do other than go out and get intoxicated. I mean, like, the kids in high school, that's really all they have to do other than go to school and maybe go to the movies every once in a while.
Teenage kids and even younger have been into harder drugs than I've ever even seen.
Well, man, there's like nothing to do outside, and it's so cold outside. Well, I heard there's a couple people going to the pit up in Dickinsfield. Do you want to go there? Hey, bud. Hey, do you got a light? Because I want to light my smoke, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
I heard there was a big party, man. Yeah.
Man, sounds like a wicked party. Do you want to go? Well, there's like, we might as well. Hey, it looks like we're doing a whole lot. Here,
wow.
Yeah, we'll see you later. See you there later. Do you want my number or something?
Sure.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff here that I learned, like a bad impact, I think, that I learned here rather than in my old town, because I didn't see as much as I seen here.
It used to be a pretty peaceful community. Now it's pretty busy, and I used to be able to run around when I was a kid without parents worrying, and now I can't let my kids run around without worrying about them.
I want to be a part of helping this community get back on its feet.
Yeah.
Because these past few years, like, everything's grown so much that the people haven't gotten used to it yet.
Okay, so we're standing here at Boston Pizza, outside the Boston Pizza. This once was my grandmother's house. We used to come and visit here quite often. She had a huge garden and berry bushes that she used to, have in her backyard. She also didn't have running water either, so we used to have the outhouse out in the back. Anyway, very fond memories. So every time I come to Boston Pizza, that's what I think of. My grandmother. So I do know that waterways is a very important part to the historical aspect of Fort McMurray, and there itself being,
It's huge. I mean, that's all there was before.
Yeah.
Those waterways.
Yeah.
The difference that I see from today is, if you look at all this here, when I was growing up, as a kid, our parents never worried about where we went.
Interesting.
Like, we can go whenever we wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, come back after, for supper or whatever, and go play with friends. And now today, I mean, you can't let your kids out of your sight.
Many of the people who are now living in Fort McMurray don't see it as a place that's permanent. They see it as a temporary place to belong. I have friends that have worked in the oil sands for probably the number of years that I've been a teacher. It makes you forget about how fast time is passing. And then you get this thing where I only planned on staying for 5 years and I was going to leave, but all of a sudden now 5 years has rolled into 10, and 10 years will roll into 15. We live in a country that claims to be very accepting and multicultural, and we still have huge issues around Indigenous people for some reason, and the Indigenous people of the country where we live in, and that always seems to get somehow overlooked, or it becomes, now it isn't their problem, it's our problem, it's the people's problem. We're killing ourselves, we're hurting ourselves. They're not doing it anymore, and that's what they say, that once, oppression at its finest is when the oppressor can lift their hands and say, look at these people, look what they're doing to themselves. And that's exactly where we're at,
So I was thinking that we could look at our map, and because we had a lot of really cool historical stuff, and then some present stuff, and then we could put on some future stuff. But I was thinking that might be a way to organize places, to say where are the historical places we should go to show people in the video, and then where's contemporary places.
There's really a divide between across the bridge and this side of the bridge. Like, people who live up in Thickwood, they try not to have to come downtown. And people who live downtown try not to have to go up to Thickwood.
Yeah.
So the bridge kind of divides the community, but it also is a connector from one side of the river to the other.
We mapped out on the map somewhere you really like in Fort McMurray and somewhere you really don't like. If we look at, if we want to show people and send a message about Fort Mac, when we incorporate the past and the present and the future, we can start by area, and let's pick a couple sites in each area where we can go and film.
We are now going to Syncrude.
Things are gonna be okay. If you wanna party, we're gonna take a seat and listen to the melody. What I need is not to be obscene. Yo, let's go to a club and just bounce. That's what I'm seeing in a nice looking lady. I think she sees something in me. Hey player, why are you pulling her away from me? There's something I gotta say. Can you tell me what's going on? Can you tell me what's going on? Can you tell me?
Like I'm standing in an industrial barrel. That's what it smells like.
I got like lung cancer from this man right there. Just from this car ride.
This smell is the bitumen smell. Bitumen is the heavy, thickest material in the oil, the crude oil, while this is the residue, not the good value of the oil. As suppose it's 3 layers of oil and water and gas to be like the perfect volatile of oil. But this bitumen is residue in the trap of sand dunes to perform this oil sand in Athabasca Lake.
is where some of the tar pits are located. Way over there.
Syncrude put up this reserve in order to save the buffalo species, and it was an attempt to prove that they're not negatively impacting the environment. As you can see, it says the future here. How they're trying to keep everything from being polluted. Our wonderfully saved buffalo have to breathe in our tar sand and smokestacks.
And there's the Syncrude sign. You see all those happy people? Very misleading. Very misleading.
This is